In this video, I'm going to talk about my experiences around promotions and switching companies. I will talk about how you can grow in your current role, how and when to choose your next role, and how I used to prepare while working a busy job at Amazon. I have worked at startups like ShareChat, moved to MNCs like Amazon and Google, was promoted twice in around 3.5 years, and currently working as a senior software engineer at Google Mountain View. I'm going to share some key learnings I had while navigating my career path. If you are new to a team or just starting a new role, these 3 points can help. The most important thing to do is to understand your role and your manager's expectation. It is important to find an intersection between your strengths or interests and what the role demands. Understand your environment. In early stage startups, you are expected to productionize faster and optimize on velocity. But in stable products, you optimize for reliability. In those teams, your goal isn't just to ship some features, it's to ensure that your code creates zero blast radius. If you are new to a team, meet your team one-on-one to map out who is working on what. It will help you build a mental graph of the team's work and build connections with your teammates. General rule of thumb is use the first 3 months strictly to build context. Your goal isn't to change the architecture of your team, it's to understand it. The best way to do that is to pick some bugs, small code fixes, or operational issues. The more you understand the code base, the better you will understand the architecture. Your ability to do good design also depends on your ability to understand the code and the execution details. During your onboarding phase, how you ask for help matters. When you are blocked, do not ask for answers. First, ask if the blocker is worth spending time on. Maybe the blocker requires a small piece of information that can unblock you and doesn't require you to break your head. If you get feedback to solve it yourself, time box the problem and try different solutions. If you are stuck, try to use in this format. First, explain the problem statement to a teammate. Explain exactly what you tried, and then ask for help. This approach works because it shows you respect their time. Do not just share the error or half picture. Sharing the complete problem statement gives your teammate enough context to help you unblock faster. Once you are settled in the team, you need leverage. Today that means using AI. However, you must minimize the knowledge gap between AI and you. It is very important for you to be in the loop when using AI. You need to know as much, if not more, than the LLM that you are using. If the AI writes code, builds a roadmap, or design docs you don't fully understand, you haven't gained leverage. Learning in your career looks like a parabola, where the x-axis shows the time and y-axis shows your learning capability of solving different problems. As you stay more in a team, you build context, connections, and understand the bigger picture. Use that as your leverage to solve difficult problems in your team. Work with a senior engineer or tech lead apart from your manager. That way you protect yourself from reorgs, manager changes, etc. And lastly, build meaningful connections. When you talk to a person, it should not always be because you want something out of the conversation. Be curious and try to contribute as much, if not more, than you consume. Now that you have built context, identified leverage, and a space in the team, look for bigger projects. As you stay longer in a team, it becomes your job to find the best project. You won't likely be told what to work on. The most useful advice I received, and which helps me a lot, is to ask yourself, how can I contribute to the current situation in the hand in the most effective way? What is the uniqueness I bring to the table from the skill set that I possess to solve the current situation? Remember, picking the project is only half the battle. You need to execute it in a way that is effective and visible. Do not start with a roadmap. Build the tree bottom up. First, create instones, which are small granular tasks. Stack them into milestones and let those form your roadmap. Once you have this tree, transfer it to a project management tool that your company uses. You can use a Gantt chart to show progress and the current status. This helps visualize delays before they become disasters. Over-communication is never bad for a project. Keep all stakeholders in the loop through emails. I once worked on a critical project and keeping everyone in the loop justified my position when things got tough. Find leaders who can support you for the problems you are trying to solve. When you talk to them, explain things at the right communication level. For example, if you are talking to a VP or director, focus on the roadmap and the business impact that you created, not on the design, docs, or code. Your end goal should be that without you, the project should continue smoothly. It sounds counterintuitive, but when you build systems like this, the speed of the projects become exponential and you scale and move to even bigger projects. Finally, I want to talk about switching companies. Switching is generally a personal choice. In my experience, I have seen very successful people who stayed for 15 plus years in the same team and people who switch every 4 or 5 years. It is important for you to understand what you are trying to optimize on. Is it the money? Is it growth opportunities? Is it a different role, manager, or company you want to work in? It is always good to run towards something instead of running away. Switching leads to you doing all the things we discussed from scratch. You lose your context, all the leverage that you build. You have to embrace that reset. I have experience switching both teams and companies. It has both its perks and challenges. You should optimize for what you want out of it. But as a general rule, always optimize on your manager. A good manager can accelerate your career growth. During my switches, I have followed this 4-point rule while looking for companies and teams. Understand the manager's working style in the best possible capability that you can. Understand the team's work and how the team fits in the org. How far is it from the core goal in the direction of the org? Talk to the teammates, friends who are around or in the team, and most importantly, TLs of the team who have a vision or who can talk about what the team is heading towards. Understand what you are going to work on and share expectations with your manager very clearly during the hiring manager rounds. It is perfectly fine to say, I'm looking for a next level role project, and understand what they have to offer. It shows initiative and ownership for your career and is often appreciated by hiring managers. Once you decide to switch, one of the challenges is preparing with a full-time job. When I was working as a ST2 at Amazon and preparing for interviews for several companies, the hardest part was keeping patience. I followed these 4 things that hopefully can help you as well. Give as many mocks as possible. You can ask your recruiter to schedule mock interviews or your friends to help you with some mock interviews. Apply to multiple companies of similar interview structure if possible, so that you also have real-time experience and not just the mock interviews. Plan ahead. Start prepping at least 6 months before you want to apply to different companies. And most importantly, make sure you give enough time to your current job. Never sacrifice the bird in your hand for the bird in the bush. If you do move, make sure the move is aligned with where you see yourself in the next 5 years. Do not move just for a title change, move for the career trajectory. If you are an engineer fresh out of college, my advice would be to explore a good number of startups while parallelly looking for MNC jobs. In your early days, faster iteration is important, which might be lacking in MNCs, and you can get that leverage while working in startups, working on distributed systems and making more and more progress faster. To summarize, promotions isn't just about coding or design or delivering impact. It is about gaining context, leveraging the tools and processes that you have, executing projects with inch-stones and visibility. Whether you stay or switch, prioritize a steep learning curve and a supportive manager over just a title change. If you found this video useful, please subscribe for more such content. Thank you for watching.